Hello there. It is January 14th of 2025. I think I accidentally left my phone charger in my room, maybe, so I might not be able to really charge my phone for next handful of hours, which might be a little annoying, but it's fine. I don't think my phone will die on me before then. So yeah, let's see here. Well, I don't know about anyone else. If you're if you're waking up at comparable times to myself, and then you're getting ready to go and whatnot. I am curious, if anyone's getting up at a similar time and then being like, oh, okay, just go ahead and watch one of these dudes' videos. I'm doubtful, but I reckon it's possible. It doesn't really matter. I'm just curious. Well, not really exclusively mine, but I kind of think about if there's like a particular person, or would it be like part of like someone's routine? I'm just curious if anyone does that. But anyway, although it's actually a little earlier than some of the other videos that I've done here, because I actually woke up at about say 6:10, 6:15 or so, and I went ahead and did all my stuff, I guess, except for putting the charger in me. And now I'm heading on over to breakfast. But I don't even think that I don't even think the dining hall even opens until 7, and it's a little after 6:30 right now, which is when I'd normally be waking up. So I might have to I don't know, might have to wait for a little bit. I'm gonna put my hood up. It is definitely pretty cold out here. If you're anyone's out there and you're you're in the cold right now, or the winter seasons of wherever you call home, whatever it may be, just make sure you're staying warm, get enough sleep, get enough water, food, all that good stuff. So, but yeah, actually, I did get, I'm curious, since I don't know, I went to bed slightly, a little later than I meant to, and I woke up a little earlier than I meant to. Not like significant difference, but I don't know. But I reckon I got at least, I don't know, half an hour-ish, something like that. More than I had in previous nights. I do seriously think I will try to have my bedtime be out about 11 instead of 12, just because I like that extra hour. I feel better, a little more clear-minded with it. I mean, I'd love to get like 9-10 hours, but I'm not going to bed at 9 o'clock. That's not happening. Right, it's not very realistic for me. Plus, also, what college students at this time in their life can, you know, easily go to bed at 9 or 9:30. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I know a single one who does that. I mean, I don't know. I reckon there's probably going to be at least like one or two of them out there somewhere, but generally my experience, no. But anyway, I know enough about sleep stuff and whatnot. You probably didn't even need to hear that. But yeah. So another random question I had just popped in my mind as I was thinking about an episode of Stargate SG-1 that I watched recently. It's about this time loop. You know, this whole thing, it was inspired by the Groundhog Day movie. Although I don't think I've actually seen that, but I know what the premise of that is. You know, dude gets, you know, stuck in a time loop and trying to figure out how to get out of it, and, you know, does some pretty, I reckon probably some pretty funny or crazy things, you know, to entertain himself in some of those loops. So I probably support that, although I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. But so I was just like, wait, okay, so alright, well, if you were, say if something like that happened in real life, right, and, you know, and you weren't, you know, one of the people that was aware of it, right, so I don't think you would I don't think you'd be conscious, you'd consciously recognize that was happening. I mean, it's possible you might have some kind of subconscious feeling, but I don't know if you would or not. Alright, so you have that, but like my question here is like, you know, how would a non-aware person experience the loop? Okay, so like what I mean is, like, would you only experience would you feel like you only experience the whole thing just one time?
Walk sign on for all crossings.
Which I'm sure you would, but
walk sign on for all crossings.
You know.
Walk.
But you know, would it be the first loop? You know, would it be where things, you know, started off at, or would it be the final one, or would it be, you know, any of the ones in between? I don't know. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, because the important thing is, you know, breaking the time loop. But still, right? Like, I don't know. I'm just curious. How would that work? You know. Oh wow, this place was doing some kind of renovations or something. Because, really, I don't know how I hadn't looked through that window before. Because I don't know. I don't really normally look into the windows to see what's going on in the shop still. I don't know. So I went ahead and, well, it's not the one I'm gonna do for a video, but I wanted to go ahead and try to do part of a I wanted to do a 1.16.1 Minecraft speedrun. Yeah, it's a super popular version, just, you know, for its speedrunning. And so it was kind of cool. And I'm nowhere near world record speed, I'm not gonna lie. I know I've made several speedrun videos already, again, I don't feel the most confident, admittedly, that I'd be able to do, world record type stuff, but I don't know. Maybe we get something like that. But I suppose more realistically, I think my goal, my first goal would probably be to, say like beat Minecraft under, say like an hour, right? Because I think my current, shortest time, well, I haven't actually ever like fully, calculated or written down or anything, I think was, like 2 hours and like 15-20 minutes or so, which is not very good. I mean, it is better than a lot of other speedruns I did when I was younger. Like, my overall time has like gradually improved, but it is also kind of annoying to edit that for a video occasionally. I mean, most of the time now it's not too bad because I kind of know certain techniques to speed up the process, but speed up the editing process and whatnot, but then cut out a lot of time in the video. But right, I'd like to have, I think my first goal would be to have under an hour, and then probably go down by 15-minute increments. Now, I don't know if and or when I would ever try anything like the sub 15-minute speed run. That is pretty fast, but I will say I think if I do something like that, I will probably, and mind you, I'm thinking if I do stuff like that, which I probably am going to try at some point in the future, then I'm definitely going to do set seed speed runs, because there's no way I'm doing, well, I mean, maybe, unless I just get really good and also really lucky, then I'm doing a random seed. So like, for example, actually I saw this video by Kerway, I think that's what his name is, big Minecraft speedrunner, from a few years ago, where he did a speed run using his own name, his own gamer tag or whatever. So I thought that was cool. So I thought, and I'll when I do it, either later today or tomorrow or whenever the next couple of days I get around to doing that, then I'll try to remember to make sure to credit Kerway for the original. Actually, wait, I don't even think he was necessarily the original one. I think I don't know. Do I put him or the person that he gave credit to? I don't know. But set my back. It is honestly kind of annoying to me, this backpack is, especially when I'm trying to record videos. So I don't like the I don't like having the heavy weight on my back. It's not very it's not very nice. Just like my back feel free of that thing. I do think I should be getting a textbook today, although I'm not. Hopefully, preferably sooner rather than later, I get that thing. But Oh. Yeah. Still am pretty tired though. But, well, I was gonna say let's check the time, but I don't have a watch on right now, so I can't really do that. But I don't know. I don't think my sense of time is particularly great. I don't. I mean, occasionally it works fine, but generally I try to rely on stuff like, you know, timers and whatnot, because, like, you know, what I'll feel like to be, you know, for example, you know, 1 hour will end up being, you know, probably like 3. So super great. I don't know, but yeah. How would you guys rank your time management skills, if you don't mind me asking, on a scale of 1 to 10? You don't have to give any, you know, subjective reflection on that if you don't want to, but. Again, I know it's a super random question to ask, you know, but I hope you guys don't mind. Oh, and if you've enjoyed this video or any of the videos that I've made so far, and you want to see more stuff like this, then feel free to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It really means a lot to me to know that there's people who are interested in some things that I have to say, or, you know, whatever passions I might have that I, you know, have made videos of so far or will make. I'm trying to reach 50 subscribers before Valentine's Day, and I just want to thank everyone who has subscribed and contributed to that goal so far. It means a lot to me. And then, yeah, back to talking here. I think that's all I'm doing anyway. I don't know why I said that. I don't know. Well, I'm kind of boring just, you know, waiting out here for it to be close enough to the time so I can go in and, you know, eat breakfast and get on with my day, but regardless, you know, I don't know, kind of nice too. Just wish it was a little warmer. Sometimes I really just appreciate these moments where I can kind of just, you know, sit down and just reflect over, think about stuff, and, you know, just enjoy, you know, the peacefulness, you know, the chillness, in this case, literally, of the environment around me. So, yeah. What do I know? But yeah, so I think I feel kind of excited to do 1.16.1 speed runs and the 1.15 survival world. I don't know exactly what my plans are going to be for that, if that's going to be more of, like, for example, getting all of the advancements, or you know, like normal survival type of stuff, you know, and then and then at some point, updating it to 1.16. I don't know. I supposedly, and I haven't heard it so far, although I don't know, I just isn't paying enough attention to it. But so yeah, supposedly 1.16, right? I think it should play the Nether, the new Nether music while you're in the overworld. And I think the thing for that, although I don't know, maybe I'm just mirroring this because that's what happened to me when I was playing on Bedrock Edition. I don't know if Java Edition had the same thing or not. But yeah. But I'm not really even sure if it does, which is really a shame. But I'll say that, yeah, I remember when I played 1.16. Not like, I don't think it was the very first time, although maybe it was. It was in the near future, I think, past when the update came out originally. On this survival world that me and my brother had, I think. And, not tired at all. I would totally not mention that before this video. Alright, well, yeah, so it played the Nether music in the overworld, and I just thought it was, like, really cool. I think the way that the whole music thing worked, at least for a good while in Minecraft, or at least on Bedrock Edition anyway, was that basically, so yeah, you'd have certain songs that would play in, certain biomes or maybe, times of day, but the game would try to pretty frequently play whatever the new songs for that update or that version is. So, like, for example, when 1.19 the Wild Update came out, I definitely remember, just going around to normal biomes and doing, fairly average stuff, just, building, some more houses or some parkour, just flying around randomly, all sorts of different little things. And it would play, the 1.19 songs a lot. Now, admittedly, I don't know how that works exactly with 0.16. I might have to look that up, unless someone wants to do the nice thing and look it up for me and then tell me before I do my next video or something. But, right, that it should play the Nether music in the overworld. But yeah, when I had that happen, when that happened, when I played originally, it was really cool, because it was like, it's a very different sort of, not only is the music very different from, what you hear in the overworld, although the overworld has a lot of different songs, most of them, in the game, right? What, I don't know. It was just really cool. And then I also remember, I think there was a lot of times where I heard, like, the underwater ones, probably admittedly because I had I had a lot of time that I spent right next to oceans, or that I had my own custom, like, floating islands above. And so, that's kind of where I, that happened too. But even just pairing the two together, the Nether music and the aquatic music, I really like. I think that, okay, don't get me wrong, I like the normal Minecraft music that plays in the overworld, but there's something for me about the Nether music and the aquatic music, and even the one song for the End Dimension, just called The End. I know, super creative decision right there, C418. And I don't know. It's hard to describe right off. I mean, admittedly, because I'm still kind of tired, but nonetheless, right? But it's really cool. you should, like, if anyone in my audience, if you have, if you have Java Edition, just go ahead and boot up any version of 1.16. It might be one of the snapshots that has something like this. I don't know. And just play around. Or hell, you could even, practice, 1.16.1 speed running, and just keep the music on, and just, see if you can hear any of the nether music in the world. Or if you're a person who plays Bedrock Edition, what you do it on your computer, your PC, then you could try getting the Bedrock Edition launcher, which will, I think, allow you to play older versions of Bedrock, which is pretty cool. I've never gotten to do something like that. So I don't know if I will or not, because again, I'm not a Bedrock Edition player anymore, for the most part. Occasionally I play, but yes, for those of you Bedrock Edition players, or people who somehow have access to Java Edition but refuse to play that as your main mode of the game for whatever reason, then yeah, check out the Bedrock Edition launcher. Download it. It's not. I don't think it's. It may or may not be official Mojang release, so be aware of that. But what I've seen so far from a handful of different videos, it seems overall pretty secure, and pretty cool. So feel free to check that out too. Anyways, I guess I open the doors. So that's nice. So I'll just walk on down over to dining, and then on this video, I don't know if I'll do another daily walk video for today, and I know I didn't do. I think I only did literally just one video, one daily walk yesterday. I chose, I think, fairly or moderately long, anyhow, but nonetheless. Yeah, I kind of just some more different, thoughts and stuff here. I know that perhaps there is some of my audience who doesn't really play Minecraft. I'm not boring you out with, if you're still somehow watching this, with all of these Minecraft terms and ideas and whatnot. Like, I get it, it can be a lot, and admittedly, yeah, sometimes in the past, I think sometimes I do tend to just, go on about this stuff quite a lot, which, I don't know. I don't think it's particularly problematic here anyway. I think it is my own video. I'm not even talking to anyone else, I'm just talking to myself. Right there. Hopefully that doesn't. I'd be like, I'm proud of you. I'm not a crazy person. And I guess the way, I don't know. I've had one or two people ask me, like one or two of my friends so far, I believe, like, ask me, like, how do you get yourself to, like, I forget, I probably completely misremembered the question, I feel like, but someone was like, how do you get yourself to just, be comfortable in front of talking to a camera? And I'm like, okay, and be like, well, say that, stereotypically, that's practice, repeated exposure, yes. But other thing is, I guess, just be like, well, don't think about it too much, or a little weird thing, I know, but you could be like, well, think about it like you're already like okay, so imagine instead of the phone or the camera or whatever it is you're using to record yourself, right? Or that you're trying to talk to a certain audience. Although maybe that does help some people, so if that does, then use this instead. You use that instead. But you could be like, well, just realize, okay, well, you're talking to yourself. And if you don't mind talking to yourself, then just pretend like you're, just imagine that your audience is open and curious and interested in what you have to say. And then I think you should be fine. Right? If you just, of course you don't want to be over optimistic with anything, but I think, I don't know, there's a little bit of a mindset thing that goes on here, I feel like, perhaps, where, if you be realistic and you do acknowledge your own faults or whatever that you're not particularly great at as a YouTuber or whatever media form that you're doing, but you're not going to be like, self-sabotaging in the matter, and you can still do the stuff mostly fine most of the time. Then I think you should be fine. I mean, admittedly, I think there's some other factors like, why are you doing it? What interests you? What are you, other stuff like, are you doing it for a hobby or for a job? For this, I'm doing this as a hobby because, I don't know, I just find it kind of fun. I don't really, it could be fun, it could be cool to do this as a job, and I can make a lot of money off of that, potentially, in the future, but I'm not concerned about that right now. So I just kind of think about this like, oh, just imagine like, either you're just, you recognize, either you're just talking to yourself, or feel like that if it does help you to feel like you're talking with other people, that imagine like you're on a, sort of, it's not exactly the same by any means, but sort of like imagine like you're on like a video call or something with, with someone that's close to you. Well, that's a friend or family member or a good teacher or whoever you feel comfortable around. Kind of just imagine they are there. Hopefully it made enough sense. I'm gonna get going in. I spent a few minutes longer than I meant to back here, but it's fine. And I'll see you later. Bye.